Hi, welcome back. I trust everyone had a wonderful holiday. I know I've been promising everyone that I would uh, have something once a week here on this my little web channel, but unfortunately between the holiday and then I got sick and I looked awful and I actually right here have a big cold sore and it looked much worse. So I just didn't do any videos for a couple of days, but actually about a week. But anyway, since that time, we're at war or thereabouts, and so my whole spiel is make America our America again. And so, of course, what do you do when you're sick and in bed? You do a lot of reading, you do a lot of watching of news and reading about news. Well, at least I read about news. and also I read my Facebook and my social media, and everybody I'm sure that is on social media has been seeing what their friends have to say, and this side has one thing to say and this side has the other thing to say. And I say the one thing that we all have to do is, even if you're on one side and someone else is on the other side, we have to not allow ourselves to become polarized by it, and it's very, very easy to do. So what I had promised you is that my next chapter I was going to go into, which is the first chapter, was make America affordable again. But I've decided to go all the way to like the middle to the back of the book. We're going to chapter 19, which is make America smart again. And the reason that I decided to do this is because one of the things that will help us in terms of being able to fight that instinctive thing that we all seem to be doing is going to our corners, right? And my guy says this, so therefore it's true, and you're stupid because you're the opposite, and therefore you're wrong. And so I think the one thing that we should all do as far as our positions is educate ourselves, all right? Make America smart again. We need to be smart. So, talking about the elephant in the room. So, President Trump bombed a very, 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 very bad man. And I don't think anybody on either side, my friends that are on the liberal Democrat side who think that it was a very bad thing to do, even they do not think he was a good man. So I think we can all find that one thing that we agree with, which we all agree that he was not a good man. And then there's the other side that say, those darn liberals, they don't understand that the very bad man needed to be killed. And I say, you know what? The jury's out on both sides. The president and his people are all saying that that it needed to be done because it was some imminent thing that we would all be hurt if he weren't. That could be true. And then again, maybe it isn't. We do not know that. We don't. Unless the Pentagon is watching. In which case, hello, welcome. Probably not, though. Okay, I'd be very honored, quite frankly. But it's probably just like regular folks like me that are watching this thing. And very few, I'm sure. I don't have a big following. So that being the case, we're not privy to that private information. We don't know. I don't know whether it was, on the one hand, some people are saying wag the dog. If you don't know what that is, I'll explain it later. And other people are saying it had to be done. You know what? I don't know which case is true. And neither do you. Okay? So I'm just going to kind of, so as I go into this chapter 19 of my book, I just want to kind of read something. Okay? So James Madison, his take on ignorance was, knowledge will forever govern ignorance. Knowledge will forever govern ignorance. And a people who mean to do their own governorship, govern themselves, must arm themselves with the power which knowledge gives. Okay, so we can have an opinion on something, but we can only have an opinion on something that we are informed about. We must inform ourselves in order to have an opinion. Otherwise, we're being led by someone else. And I don't want to be led by someone else. And neither do you, I'm thinking. Okay. John F. Kennedy said, only an educated and informed people will be a free people. And I believe that's true too. You're not really free if somebody else is leading you, correct? Okay. So, a couple of years ago, as I said, as I was sick, I was watching some of my friends on the left and some of my friends on the right, everybody arguing with each other, and all I kept thinking of is, but we don't know the answer. We really don't know the answer. I do have, certain opinions. I personally believe that if you make a decision to do something, it should be a decision that is made in not in ignorance, and you should be forward thinking. And what is that consequence going to be? And so, just killing a very bad man, although it may sound like a really good idea, if it's going to result in a 9/11 type thing happening afterwards, then that wouldn't necessarily be the right thing to do. If killing that bad man thwarted the 9/11 thing from happening, well, then that would be a good thing to do. And since I don't have the answer to that, I think that we need to not fight with ourselves about whether that's, that's which it is, And so one of the things, I guess it was, about a year ago or so, and this is in this chapter, but I'm not going to bore you by reading it. And as I say, I kind of am more on the liberal leaning side, and so, but sometimes being liberal, sometimes being Democrat doesn't mean that they're right. And so if they aren't right, I am absolutely not going to stand by somebody that's not right. And so about a year ago or so, Amazon was coming to Long Island City, and that was really kind of a really good thing for this area. There were many high-paying jobs that were going to be there. There's going to be a lot of good opportunities for regular people. And for whatever reason, one of the Democratic leaders, AOC, had convinced a whole bunch of people that it wasn't a good thing. And in reading into it and really researching it and understanding it myself, I couldn't understand how anybody could come up with that conclusion. And I don't care if she was a Democrat. And you know what? Just because she did something there and she was really wrong, in my opinion, doesn't mean I won't like something else she does. It's called critical thinking. And that's really what we must do. We must engage in critical thinking. And if your heels are going to be so dug in on your party's side, as opposed to finding out what the truth is, then you're going to be part of the problem. And if I do it, I'm part of the problem. So one of the things that we can do to make our America again can start today with our opinions even on this whole thing with this war. No matter what your opinion is, take a step back, take a deep breath, and then start researching and reading and waiting for things to unfold. Not just the sound bites. Don't just listen to the sound bites. Find the truth, whatever that truth is. And that's how we can come together, rather than arguing with one another and being on that polar opposite side of each other. Let's find out what the truth is. And part of being that, making America our America again, is making America smart again, right? So that's my thought for the day. Again, I hope everybody had a really great holiday, and I look forward to coming to you again next week with another new thought. Have a great day. Have a great week. Bye.